Hi everyone, I welcome you all to Azure Developer Community's yet another session. So today, this session will be a proper basic session in which you would be understanding more about cloud computing and also will be explaining everything from scratch. So in this session, we have our expert speaker, Vandit. So Vandit is an Azure developer lead, and also he has some amazing knowledge of Azure. So with that note, I welcome you, Vandit, for the today's session. Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I am
Yeah, I
fine.
am
Thanks
fine.
for
Thanks
inviting
for
me for
inviting
the,
me
this
for the
session.
this session.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's great. That's great. So, like I am Chavi. I am your today's host, and today this Azure Developer Community session is going to be about cloud computing. So, Vandit will be taking you through all the basics, and also he'll be covering all your doubts. If you have any sort of doubt, you can just drop down in the comment section, and then we are good to go. Perfect. So yeah, Vandit, the stage is all yours. You can just continue. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah, mm, right. Okay, so yeah, I hope you are doing great. Okay, so first of all, thanks for joining in. Yeah, so on behalf of Azure Developer Community, I would like to thank you for joining the session. Yeah, Chavi ma'am, can you please share my screen? Like, yeah, okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah, so welcome to you all on the Azure Developer Community. Yeah, so today's session agenda is the introduction to Azure Dev Community. Then after what is like a cloud and Azure, we will be like knowing about that. Then after how can you join that and how you can learn that kind of thing. And the last, the most I love part is Q&A, right? Okay, so let's begin with the session. So introduction to Azure Developer Community. So yeah, the Azure Developer Community, it is the initiative of Microsoft Corporation itself for upskilling the students and give them a platform, like so they can perform in well in their personal like career or like sorry professional career kind of things, and they can do in their personal lives. So the initiative of Microsoft itself, right? So the Azure Developer Community, it is made up of like a from a two word like a Azure and the Dev community, right? So what is the Azure? The Azure is a cloud platform. It has a more than 200 plus platform services and the cloud services that is provided by the Azure. What kind of services that the provided by the Azure, like the storage, security, hybrid cloud, many things are there. So I will be like give you some kind of insights about that, how you can create a virtual machine, all kind of things I will be let you know, right? Okay, so using the Azure or a cloud computing, what we can do, so we can build and run and manage the application across the multi-cloud, on premises, at the edge, with the work of the tools and the frameworks as you choose. So you can integrate with your own choice, like okay, you have to work with the MySQL, okay, you can work with the MongoDB, you can integrate as many as possible services or function you want, right? Yeah, so a developer community generally define a group of developer gathered in a place to achieve a common goal. So we can say that the same mindset kind of people who want to learn technology, so they join the community. So yeah, I will congratulate to you, like you have begun one step ahead in your cloud journey or in a technical enhancement journey, right? So let's join the Azure Developer Community. At the end of the session, you will be get all the link of the Azure Developer Community, like a Discord, website, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, all kind of link will be provided you in the chat box, right? Okay, so let's start our session. So so after this session, what kind of things you will be learn, what kind of knowledge you will be gain in this 30 to 40 minutes session, right? The session will help you to understand the basic concept of the cloud computing. So what is the cloud computing? Now cloud computing is a buzzword because many industry are using cloud computing. So why they are using cloud computing, we will all learn that kind of things in the session, Yeah, differentiate between the different methods and the creating an Azure subscriptions. So for Azure subscriptions, there are Azure AD Active Directory, so you can that manage the group of people, like these kind of people have this kind of like a role or a subscription, like, or a privileges we can say. Like in our laptop or in our PC we have like a one root user, and the other are the user who have some kind of privileges, not all. So that all things are managed by the Azure AD, that is as Active Directory, right? So the session will help you to understand basic concept of cloud computing, define a cloud computing, describe said responsibilities of the cloud computing, then what is a private, public, and cloud, and the consumption model. In the all kind of things will be covered, as well as price. What will be the price for the using the any kind of Azure services? I will let you know all things. So don't worry, stay tuned in the session. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So first of the question, what is Azure? If you know what is Azure, so please let me know in the comment box. Yeah. If anybody has any like we can say idea what is Azure, so you can let me know in a chat box or a comment section. Yeah. Varun, if you have any idea. Okay, so it seems like many user are or many viewer are beginner. So let's start with the scratch. What is Azure? So what is Azure? Azure is a cloud computing platform. So what is cloud computing? I will be also give the information around that thing. Yeah. So from now onwards, if someone tells you like, hey, what is Azure? So you can tell, yeah, Azure is a cloud computing platform, right? So let's start with the introduction itself, right? Azure services range from a simple web services from hosting your business presence in a cloud to running a full virtualized um, computer for you to run the custom solution. So from here we can know like we can run a simpler web application or a static web to run a multi pages website, like a e-commerce website or a full furnished software we can run on a cloud as well. So what kind of services that provided by the Azure or a cloud computing? That is the remote storage, database hosting, and the centralized account manageability, or the we can say management, that is provided by the Azure. And the Azure also provide cutting edge technology, or you can say booming technology as like AI, ML, IoT. The many things are there to learn, right? So what is Azure? Now we can go to the Azure fundamentals. In the Azure fundamentals, what kind of things are there? So there are Azure core computing. Yeah. In the Azure core computing, the literally computing part are there. In that we are using GPU, CPU for a computational work, right? After that, that is the networking, storage, uh, database and services, cloud security. Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The cloud services are offered by Microsoft itself. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Cloud security, cutting edge in IoT and machine learning. Right. Azure work as a IS, PS, and SS. IS means infrastructure as a service. PS means platform as a service. And SS means software as a service. Before we go to cloud, first understand what is on-prem. If you go for any certification of the Azure, you get to know about that word on-prem. What is the meaning of on-prem? So on-prem word is used for on-premises, right? So on-premises, what we are doing? So we are managing the application, data, runtime, middleware, OS, virtualization, server, storage, and networking. So all seven, eight bunch of things are managed by ourselves. But if you go for a cloud, in depth, like specific, if you go for the IS, so the vendor or a third party cloud provider will manage your virtualization, server, storage, and networking. So the other things that left, that all kind of things is managed by you. So basically they provided the infrastructure. Like what is the infrastructure? The virtualization provided by their server, storage, and networking. That kind of things are provided by them, the third party company. And the what you will be managed, so you will be managed the OS. What kind of OS you will be installed, what is the flavor of your OS, like Debian, CentOS, Linux, Unix, Macintosh, many kind of OS are there, Windows 11. What kind of OS you have to install or pre-built in that system, middleware, runtime, data, application, many are there. After, if some person like wants to like, no, I don't want to manage the OS, middleware, runtime, so they give as a platform, right? Okay, just just come with your application and your data, we will be give you the all kind of services. That services are known as a PS. Let's come on I platform, we will give you all the services. So that service is known as a PS, platform as service. So in the in form of service, they will be provided a platform, right? After that, the upgrade version of that software. So in that phase, we can also known as a cloud native. So what is a cloud native? I will let you know in the like in 2 3 minutes, right? So SaaS, the software as a service. So what is software as a service? So in that, the cloud provider will give you the software or providing some kind of technology, using that you can make the software by their own technology, their own premises, right? So there, by their premises, when I say, that is the cloud itself, right? Okay, so what they will be provided in form of services, the application, data, runtime, middleware, OS, virtualization, server, storage, networking. So all bunch of 7 8 things will be provided by cloud itself, right? Let's deep down in this IS, PS, and SS, right? So when I say software, what will be the in the software, the application and the data will be the consist of the software or a made up of a software. What will be the in the platform? So in the platform, runtime, Docker, Kubernetes, container, software, Windows, Linux, like operating system, middleware, many things are there. When I say infrastructure, the what kind of infrastructure they will be provided? They will be giving the virtual machine, or we can say VM, server. When we say server, there will be the made up of with a memory, motherboard, CPU, GPU, we can say computer, router, internet, storage, HHD, SSD, HDD, SSD. So that four, we can say bunch of things will be provided by the if cloud, that will be known by the infrastructure. Okay, right? So this is the basic overview. If we say like Azure will be provided these services, or the Azure is a part of Microsoft itself, right? So what will be the Microsoft will be give? So light blue, it is given by the Microsoft. Dark blue, it is managed by the customer itself. And the sad, it may like managed by Microsoft, by the user itself, by end user itself. How? The Microsoft will give them a GUI, graphical user interface, using that they can manage that. Okay, so here you can know, by if the in a conventional method, all the things are managed by the customer. If you go for IaaS, so we can say the physical host and the networking kind of things are managed by the cloud provider, and the all bunch of things are provided by like managed by the customer. If we upgrade it to PS, so three things are like one more layer are added to the company itself, and three layer are that in which the company will help you to manage that. And if we upgrade it to SS, software as a service, so in that, almost we can say almost all layer will be provided by the third party company or Microsoft itself or a cloud provider, we can say. And the 2 3 layer are like managed by the customer itself, right? Okay, so here I said one like basic module of that. In the like conventional method, we are doing on-prem that kind of services. If we like go for infrastructure, so we are using VM and SQL, all kind of stuff we are using in the PS, platform as a service. We are providing a platform using the like different services in Azure, like a DevOps or a Kubernetes or a containerization. Many things are there. When we say cloud native, So using a platform as a service, they just put their application on that surface. But when we say cloud native, so cloud native is that using the microservices or a serverless architecture, the all kind of things are managed by the third party company itself. They will be give you the Azure statics apps, or Azure Cosmos DB, or Azure DevOps, SQL, containerization, Kubernetes, Docker. The all kind of things are provided by the Microsoft or a company itself, right? So that is cloud native. Okay, so you will be responsible for what? The information and data stored in the cloud, right? Devices that you allow, like, okay, so from what device you will be accessing for that, what kind of permission you given that like device, or a cell, or like a device or a person, we can say, the account and the identity of the person within your organization, right? The cloud provider always responsible for. So we are before we are seeing what are responsible for you, like आप किस चीज के लिए responsible हो. Next, what cloud provider will be responsible? The cloud provider will be responsible for a physical data center, then a physical network, and the physical hosts, right? Your service model will determine the responsible for this kind of things. If you go for SaaS, PS, or IS, that kind of model will be done this kind of things, like what kind of OS you will be using, networking, control, application, identity, and the infrastructure, right? So you can use Azure for what? So for what purposes you can use the Azure? So you can use Azure for virtual machine, website and database hosting, advanced computing like AI, ML, IoT, right? So define a cloud module. So there are a couple of cloud module, right? So if anybody knows the what are the cloud modules are there, so you can know me, like let me know in a comment box. Okay, if you know what is a cloud module, yeah, if anybody knows what is a cloud module. Okay, let's see. So there are basically three kind of cloud module are there: private one, public one, and the hybrid one. From a name, you can think about that. Okay, first one is a private. So in private cloud module, the services or the server, it is 100%. When I say 100%, means all services, all networking, all kind of stuff are managed by the company itself, managed by the single entity. So here I write down, it is a cloud delivering IT service over the internet that's used by the single entity. If I say like I have a one, I own the XYZ entity, like I have one company. So for that, if I use the private cloud, so that kind of cloud, it's like only and only accessible by me. Some other person cannot access that. Okay, so private cloud provide much greater control of the company and IT department, so we can more work on the security kind of thing. However, it also come with a great cost, like if you go for some kind of special services, you have to pay for that. Yeah, that. So finally, a private cloud may be host for your own site data center. So it may happen that the server are deploy on your data center itself, right? Okay, let's begin with other cloud model, right? Second one is public cloud, right? The public cloud, it is a built, controlled, and maintained by third party cloud provider like here Azure. What sorry, which with a public cloud, anyone that wants to purchase cloud service can access and use resources. So here, if you pay for that, you can use that, and it is accessible by public. So there is no kind of restriction are there or a constraint, we can say. The general purpose of the cloud, like using the different kind, like your the general purpose is the like main difference between public and private cloud. It is the public cloud, it available for public availability, so anyone can access that. That is the main key point between the public and the private cloud. Okay. So and the last one is hybrid cloud. So what is hybrid cloud? So hybrid cloud, it is the made up of using the private and public cloud. So hybrid cloud can be used to provide a extra layer of security, right? So for example, you can flexibly choose which services at to keep in your public cloud and which to deploy to their private cloud or a private infrastructure. So here you have a choice like which kind of services that I have to publish on the private, and which kind of services that I have to publish on the public or private. So you have a choice, right? Okay. Okay. So here comes the question, what is the cost, right? So guys, don't worry, the model is pay as you go. Like you use that services for a 10 minute, you have to pay only for 10 minutes, not more than that. Okay, right? And it's time to do a live demo, right? So for that, simply go to portal.azure.com. Okay. Okay, portal.azure.com, right? Okay. First of all, we see the end result and then deploy a one virtual machine, right? So let's deploy that first. If you have any doubt, please let me know in a comment box. Yeah, so you can see here, this is Windows 11 Pro version, right? So I am access that Windows 11 using my own system itself. Here is my public IP address. You can see I use Windows 10 itself, but I using cloud computing, or we can say virtual machine. I can use Windows 11 as well. Okay, so that is the end result. Let's build one, right? Okay, right. Okay, let's start building one. Like go to virtual machine. If you I used this in a couple of minutes ago, so it is prompted here. But if you don't like see here, just go and type virtual machine, or simply you can know like see here, you go here, you can show service under the service banner, you can show first is a virtual machine, so you can click there also. Okay, just create. Okay, select a subscription. Here comes the subscription question, like how I can like deploy that kind of thing. So you have a two choice. First is if you are a student, right? So you can avail the $100 pass from your GitHub student pack. And the second, if your $100 pass is completed, yeah, it means use. Don't worry, just log into Azure, like portal.azure.com, and avail the free 200 free like 200 free dollar subscription by the Microsoft itself for a 12 month, which is absolutely free. After that you have to pay, right? So select a subscription. Resource grip. Resource grip, it is, we can say, a container in that we are putting some kind of some kind of things, right? So simply I create like select one resource group. Virtual machine name, let's say Azure. developer community, right? Select a region. That is the most important part. You have to select a region as well. Okay, so it is India. Let's select Central India. Okay, okay, right. Okay, the security as the security standard, trusted, or the like confidential virtual machine. So if you use the some more security kind of things, so you have to pay some more around that. Okay, here for like experiment purpose I use standard itself. For images, like what flavor of OS that you need to deploy. So let's say I want to deploy in Windows 11 Enterprise multi session version 21H2 Gen 2, which is now updated version. Okay, the here he shows like what is the version, like it's a I want 8 GB of memory, so I use this. Okay, and it's also gives me price like a 5522, like around a 5,000 I have to pay for these services. Okay, let's do name. Okay, name has been given. Let's give a password. Okay, password has been given. Okay, okay. And if you are new to the virtual machine, don't worry, just click here licensing and review and the create. You don't want to go deep dive into the disk networking management monitoring. You can go that. Okay, some issue are there, like okay. If any error is there, they will be given here. Okay, so here also given the subscription credit apply. What will be the charges per hour? Okay, the per hour charges will be 7 rupees only. If you use the Windows 11 Pro, right, you have to pay only 7 rupees, or more or less we can say 8 rupees. Max to max you have to pay 8 rupees per hour. It is more less than the cyber cafe like owner rented for their computer, right? Okay, just click create button and here start deploying. Meanwhile, if you have any question or any doubt or this kind of things, please let me know in the chat box, or a comment section. Right? If anybody have any doubt or a query. Hey Om, hey Jainam, great to see you. Hey Varun, great to see you. If you have any doubt, please let me know in a comment box. Okay, so it seems like my VM is created successfully. So let's go to home, then go to virtual machine, and here ADC is a paint running. So right, okay. So for that we can go to connect, and we are using RDP. Here I am using RDP, the remote desktop connection I am using. Okay, I'm using RDP. Okay, create RDP. Okay, and for this port I will be downloading RDP file. Sometimes it is very useful to download a file, so I give you like advice: download a file and then um, connect with the remote desktop. It is very helpful to you. Meanwhile, if you have any doubt, please let me know in a comment box. Right, so main thing is here we occur a error. So let's solve that. In a networking, the why error is occur, like first we can know that the error is occur because the port number. that port number, it is not like we can say give that any like give that proper privileges to the this ADC by the ADC machine. Like ADC machine did not given the right kind of privileges to this port number. So let's give that privileges to this port number. First of all, copy that port number. Copy. Done. Create. If you while creating virtual machine, and if you like know this kind of error, don't worry, go to networking section and inbound create a inbound port. Okay, okay, just a second, let's now check. Okay, right, just a second, I think so my that things are deploying, so it may be there are a like issue. So let's check one. If we can't connect to that, I will be adding that. Okay, yeah, it seems like I connected. Okay, so let's enter the username correctly and then password. Okay, let for now remember me, and then like yeah, I trust on this virtual machine, so I hosted, right? So yeah, we can say other user applying are preparing for Windows, right? So our virtual machine is ready. Due to low network connection, it may take some time. Okay, so we can say here that Windows 11 is up and running, so we can use all the utility of Windows 11, right? So that is the virtual machine point. Okay, if you want to disconnect, okay, just disconnect that. Okay, so let's visit the portal as well as the portal. So here you can use the different services as well. If you want to go with some other services or other kind of things, you can do also the storage face API, the we can say the booming technologies, that is AI ML kind of thing, that is the comes under the cognitive services, right? So cognitive services, cognitive search are there. So voice to text, text to voice, all kind of things are comes under the cognitive services, right? So you can also go for that. Here the bot services, video analyzer, metrics advisor, so all things are there. Okay, so right, let me know if you have any question or any doubt. Okay, what is the actual work of virtual machine? Okay, that's the great question, right? Okay, so in our local system we have a more or less 8 GB of RAM, right? If you train the like we can say machine learning model, if want more space, or for a just small task, if we want some other desktop or some other like we can say OS, right? So we can use that. Okay, so right now I'm using Windows OS. Okay, so let's say I want to use the another OS. What will be the other OS that I can use? Okay, so let's go to the virtual machine. Yeah, okay, that is the great question. Okay, Just a second. Okay, right. So when you choose the image here, what is the meaning of image? Image is the what kind of flavor or what kind of OS that you want to need it. Okay, so click here, see all images. So what, how many like operating system are that in the Azure, you can know here as well. Okay, so we can say here we have a more operating system for Windows Server, Windows 10, 11, Ubuntu, Windows 7 server, Kali Linux as well. Okay, Red Hat Linux, CentOS, many OS are there using like CentOS 7 also. Okay, so we are like, let's say more or less 20, 25 OS. We have a batch of 89 pages. So you can just multiply 25 into 89, how many OS, how many flavor of OS we have. So you can taste all kind of OS here. And this here the best thing is that here some are free also. Like if you go for CentOS 7.9, that is absolutely free. If you go for CentOS, it is just charge 2.46 rupees per hour. So it is bare low cost, I can say, very low cost, you can use easily. And by the Azure like a student pack, sorry, GitHub student pack, you can avail $100. So using that you can easily like use that, and it is very easy to use. Yeah. Okay, any other doubt?
Thanks a lot, Vandit, for such an amazing and insightful session. It was really great having you, and I really liked the way you answered the doubts, and also it was really great. And obviously, looking forward to have some more amazing sessions with you in future.
Okay, yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Great. Perfect. So, with that note, it's an end of our today's session. Stay tuned for such of like these amazing sessions in future. And thanks a lot, everyone, for joining in.
Yeah, thanks for joining in. Bye.
Bye.